So let's start the session. Gently close your eyes. Make sure you are sitting. If your legs are down, make sure your feet is down. If you're sitting cross legs, make sure your bums and legs are completely on the chair, on the couch. Ensure your spine being erect with all natural curves. All awareness on the navel. Slowly start to lift the navel up. Raise your chest up. Push your shoulders back nicely and collapse them down. Tuck your chin. Bring your awareness to the back of the head. Relax. Crown of the head. Relax. Point between both the eyebrows. Observe. Nasikagra. The apex of the nose or the end point. Again, observe. With 3 breaths, we will gently chant Omkara. Inhale slowly. Om. 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 Mentally follow the prayer. ॐ यो वै ब्रह्माणं विदधाति पूर्वम् यो वै वेदांश्च प्रहिणोति तस्मै तगुंहदेवमात्मबुद्धिप्रकाशम् मुमुक्षुर्वै शरणमहं प्रपद्ये Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Simple palming. Rub your both palms to ribs. Apply it onto eyes, cheeks, front and back of your neck. And with a few blinks, you shall open your eyes. So, in line with the previous episode that we were listening to, how we reveal cheap hypocrisy in the name of Indriya Nigraha, control over senses, and how in a mocking manner, Bhagavan reminds us that external abstinence cannot prove real mastery over sense organs. On the same episode I've been mentioning, in the next shloka only, he will be evidentially proving what would be the right way and the right approach to master this indriyas, these 10 indriyas, karma indriyas and the jnana indriyas. So we are here at 3rd chapter, 7th shloka. Yastvindriyani manasa Yastvindriyani manasa Niyamyarabhaterjuna Niyamyarabhaterjuna Karmendriyai karma yogam Karmendriyai karma yogam Asaktas sa vishishyate. Asaktas sa vishishyate. Yastu indriyan. First we will learn the literal meaning. Yastu indriyani manasa niyamya. One who tries to restrain the senses, controls the senses. How? Direct approach. What is the direct approach? Niyamya arabatehe. He controls all the sense organs with the help of the mind. He does not literally work on the sense organs. Okay, I don't want to eat sweets from today. And then after 15 days or after a couple of days, what happens? You fall, you succumb. So we are not working here on the sense organs or the organs of actions. We are working on the mind. This is the direct approach. So one who manasa niyamya, one who restrains the sense organs through the help of the mind, karmendriyaihi karma yogam. The actions that he does in the process becomes karma yoga. Why? Because he tries to push these organs inside, inward, not outward towards the sense objects, inward towards the self, and that itself becomes karma yoga. Karma, it's not a real karma, it's not an action, it is karma yoga, he says. Asaktaha sa vishishyate. He becomes a detached person. This makes him more detached. And such detached yogi excels in life, he says. What is this excellence that he is talking about? Not becoming CEO of a company, not gaining popularity and fame. Yes, it can be in the worldly language, yes. But he is talking something completely material. Yeah? Excellence here means one who has recognized himself. To his feet all wisdoms come and fall. To his hands all peace, prosperity, want to compete to with themselves to come and fall. That's the kind of excellence a man can grow into, man can progress into. Okay, so that's what he says, savishishyate. But I would like to, in this episode, I would like to work on every single word that this shloka is revealing. It has a different kind of meaning. And more than different kind of meaning, I should say. There is more depth in this meaning. So I would try to throw light upon. So, yes, tu. The word tu in Sanskrit means on the other hand, in contrast with. Why is this word coming up? If you remember the previous shloka, which says Mityacharaha sauchyate, one who is working on the sense organs, one who is working on the organs of actions, just externally, just trying to abstain oneself from doing vratas and religiosities and orthodoxy, he is mere a hypocrite, he says. So he says, the word tu has fallen to emphasize, it is emphatically fallen in this place, that to emphasize, don't be them. In contrast, what you have to do. Arjuna, he is very, Bhagavan is very loving and caring. Whenever he says Arjuna, he is also talking to us. So he is giving a direct statement, Arjuna, don't be them. On the other hand, you have to be like this, he says. So the word tu is to emphasize that contrast. He is showing that contrast between two personalities. Okay. Manasa, again. Through the mind is again emphatically shown here, because whenever we talk about yamas, niyamas, or controlling or mastering, we work directly on that particular element. For example, through pranayama, we think that we are mastering prana. But if you understand Patanjali well, if you understand Bhagavad Gita well, then you understand that we are not trying to control prana. Through mind, we are trying to extend prana. So here, what is the field that where we work upon? It's not breath, it's not prana, it's always the mind. Manhi tarak, manhi karak. That's what we say in Hindi. Mind is the one which does all the does all the troubles, and mind is through which the one that we get away, we overcome from. So manasa, the means is very important. Always master the senses through the mind. Why mind? Mind is also called the Shadendriya. He's the sixth Indriya. He's the king of all Indriyas. So it's not only the king of organs of action, it is also the king of organs of knowledge, Jnanendriyas and Karmendriyas. Unless until mind is vested into that particular sense object, sense organ cannot enjoy pleasure or pain. For example, what happens when you try to inject vaccine to a small child? There are very skilled doctor professionals, always talking to the child, showing up some faces, giving him soft toys, and quickly injecting the vaccine onto the skin, subcutaneous injection. But the child doesn't even realize, and then suddenly he or he feels the prick, and when the job is done, then they start to cry. So what had happened here? The pain or the pleasure is enjoyed only when the mind involves. So remember, the means will always be the mind. If you have to work on sense organs or on the organs of action, mind is the crucial element where we have to work. That will be our field to play. Otherwise, what happens? Like that Mithyachara, like that hypocrite, what we will be doing? We will work on the sense organs and showing, it's just a show off, it's a showcase, or for somebody else's attention or adulation, that, oh, she is doing well, oh, he is very nice, he is gentle and polite, it will all be appearances. So here the emphasis manasa, through the mind. Niyamya. He could have also told niyama, niyamit, but he said niyamya. Niyama means, everybody knows, the control that we vest, correct? The restraints. But niyamya here means, according to the shastras, you try to hold that restraint. According to the traditional wisdom, according to the ordinances created by gurus, spiritual guru. Why do I need a guru? I can work on my own field. Mind is my field. Okay, mind is in me. Or I am in the mind, whichever way you say. It is very, very well known to me. I will work. Why should I learn from some other guru? Why should I learn from Shastras? So it's a famous answer given by Sadhguru once when he was asked by Barkadat that why do I need a guru? He says, when you go into a different terrain, okay, for example, you are wandering on the roads of Greece. Okay, you have to reach a destination. What do? She says, I use GPS and then I know where I'm going, and then I know whether I'm going right. Similarly, this terrain is not an usual terrain where we are working on the mind. Hence, we need GPS, Guru positioning system, he says, in a funny manner. On the other hand, you have to understand, mind mastery is not easy. Yeah. So if there is a guideline given, it becomes easy. If there is a master chart given, it becomes easy to apprehend and incorporate. Hence, the Guru, who had already trodden the path, who had already actualized the self, when he speaks, he does not speak, he speaks with silence, is it not? When Ramana Bhagavan speaks through his eyes, Paul Brunton says, all my doubts vanished away. It is as if I am sitting and getting hitted by the waves ocean, the waves of unlimited jnana ocean. That's what he says. So such gurus are not there to gain your sympathy, empathy, gain your praises or acknowledgement. They are here for compassion. On the grounds of compassion, they are here. Otherwise, they don't want to work at all. They're not here for you and us, no? Hence, Krishna here categorically explains niyamya. Please follow the ordinances. Otherwise, you might be misguided. You might derail from the path. Sometimes disappointments occur and you do not know whether I'm on the right path or not. Is it not? So, he says niyamya, according to the Shastras, according to Adi Shankaracharya, Shatka Sampatti, gain some qualification. Okay? Not everybody can do a PhD. Is it not? Can an LKG fellow, a lower kindergarten fellow, do a PhD? No. You have to go through the steps. Why should I learn? Why do I need an external person to make me understand what? No. You have to follow. This is how it is. Similarly, niyamya. So when you see such a person who had worked on the mind, his mind is fertile, lush green with that spiritual presence, blossoming with, flowering with, brimful of wisdom. And he is happy on his own. He is not happy by some means or some process, or he has to sit and meditate, or while he is working, he don't feel like working. While he meditates, he feels good. No, nothing of that sort. Even if he sit and meditates, he is happy. Even if he is working, he is happy. Because his experience stays with him, his wisdom stays with him, fertile, lush, green. Such a person, we have already learnt about him, is called Sthita Prajna. In the second chapter, Krishna voraciously talks about this particular jnani. Is always stable. His awareness is never shaken off, is never perturbed. Such a person, Sthita Prajna, has all his attributes like a Karma Yogi. Why and how? Even when he does the normal day-to-day life's job, such as brushing the teeth, talking to a friend, or doing his job, professional, personal, whatever it is, he does not let go that subtle awareness. Can you understand how interesting this is? For example, I am eating. Okay. For example, the jnani is eating a delicacy. His jnanendriya is working. His mind is working. But still, that eating, jnani eating, action is not karma, but it becomes karma yoga, Krishna says. How is this possible? He gives the answer, asaktaha. There is no asakti. There is no attachment. Now we have to be very clear with this word attachment. There are so many misinterpretations. Or perhaps we have ourselves miscommunicated to the mind what is Attachment. Attachment to all of us means affection. Affection means love, and that is pure. That's what we mistake. Attachment means simply clinging on to. The problem with human mind is denial. You always deny, no, I don't cling into anything. I'm very wise. I'm well read. I'm under practice. And we deny. But when the object leaves its existence from the life, it can be a person, it can be an object, it can be a position that you have been in, it can be a circumstance that you have already been acclimatized into. When all those things are snatched away, they don't have any importance in life anymore. They are not there. What happens? We seem to be detached. We seem to be indifferent, but the mind runs back. Like, for example, this is a usual thing. Always our childhood memories are sweeter. Because you know that you can't gain them back, is it not? So this is attachment. This is clinging. Why? Because that tastes sweeter. But to a jnani, be him a 75-year-old, just like a ripe banana, his skin might be. Be him 15-year-old like Ramana Bhagavan, running from Madurai to Arunachalam, Thiruvannamalai. The jnani remains unaffected by the changes. And how is he able to do it? How is he able to do it? He is utilizing all his organs of action. He is utilizing all his sense organs. He is with the mind beyond all that. A jnani has the perfect wisdom set that even though I am making my employee work, the instructions, the commands that I give is not touching me. I don't feel bad. Oh my God. Why do we feel bad? Because we know that we have egoistically spelt those words, pronounced those words. Sometimes it so happens. When we work on our body frame, name frame, ego frame, pleasantness and unpleasantness prevail. But to a yogi, he is never in the body frame. He is never in the name or form frame. To him, others, there's no others. To him, he himself is that massive consciousness, and there is no difference. He sees no difference. So while he eats. While he drinks. And no action whatsoever he performs can be called as karma. Hence is Karma Yoga. Hence Krishna says, Karmendriyaihi. Even when he uses his karmendriyas, even when he uses organs of action, even while he walks, even while he has sex with the wife, I should not be speaking like this, but still, okay? Even while he speaks, even while he excretes, these are the organs of action. I have mentioned it in the previous lesson. Vak, Pani, Padam, Payu, Upastha. Yeah? Even while he delivers any kind of action from these karmendriyas, he is not living in his bodily frame. He is not in his ego frame. Hence, his identification is something else, is with something else. To a bhakta, is with his divine, yeah, with his Ishtadevata, with his favorite deity. There was a great devotee of Rama. I think I have mentioned this story once. Somebody helped him with a small guest house where he can stay. He never calls him as his name, but he says Rama. Rama knows it. Rama will give it. And interestingly, whomever comes to him, speaks to him, male, female, small child, a dog, everything is Rama. When will Rama come to me? You should understand. There, the Rama is me. That's how he is. And when he was in that guest house, in the night, everybody was sleeping. He was awake because he was in Rama Bhajan. There came a thief. Not understanding that it was given by someone else and the guest house does not belong to him. This devotee is he is great Bhakti Yogi. Great Bhakti Yogi. He starts to open all the suitcases, open all the cupboards, and then give everything, every article that were there in the guest house to the thief. Because for him, there is no thief. It was you, Rama, who gave. It is you, Rama, who is going to take back. For us, it seems to be insanity. For them, this is the real sameness. Seeing nothing but it. Asaktaha. This is detachment. Attachment is clinging on to benefits, because clinging on to benefits will drive yourself back to this ego identification. Yeah, that's why you have desires. That's why we have unpleasantness, because this is not according to what I have thought about. This is not according to how I wanted it to be. Again, the center is I here, but we lost that awareness of what real I is. I've seen persons with all rage, harsh words, speaking with administrative people are like that, like police force and all. Yeah, you have to make things happen. You really have to beat those criminals to find out what the truth is. Yeah, and then I've seen them just after the job coming back to their chair and sit and talk nicely, talk so pleasantly that you will be taken aback that they were bashing the person few moments ago and they are back to the chair. It's everything normal. How is this happening? Which means this is humanly possible. Detachment is not surreal. This is humanly possible. You can deliver an action without your egoistic involvement. When we are involved, what happens? There are many troubles. You become a hypertensive patient. Your rage is super high, and perhaps you are super anxious about it. Yeah. But when this normal action is going to be your job, how will you get over it? Only by cutting and severing off this egoistic attachment. So that's what asaktaha means. Karmendriyaihi karma yogam asaktaha savishishyate. Such a yogi is a vishishta, not vashishta. Vishishta means he is someone absolutely peculiar, very special to God himself. Now, there is the real question. Okay, You seem to have known many jnanis, saints, but I know many saints who are even doing the same action, like perhaps service, perhaps building hospitals, perhaps arranging for some eye camps, kidney donation camps. Why are these actions not prescribed in Bhagavad Gita? You have to understand. It is the same Krishna in Bhakti Yoga chapter, in the 12th chapter. He says, Sarvarambha parityagi yomad bhaktaha same priyaha. Sarva arambha parityagi. A person who avoids the initiation of any undertaking, any futuristic actions, who does not initiate any action at all, he is my Priya, he says. He is the most beloved. I will be under his feet. But at the same time, Krishna here in the 3rd chapter says, Niyamya arabatehe. After having mastered these sense organs with the mind, when he starts to act, there are new currents in his activity. Arabatehe. What is this? This is highly contradictory. At one point he says the yogi who is not undertaking any action is my beloved, it's the most beloved. At one point he is saying the yogi who with all the mastery initiates new currents in his activity. What does he mean? When saints engage themselves in service activities, it is not for their pride. It is not for their name. It is not for Julia Roberts to come and visit the ashram. No. It is the prescription of the inner divine. It's the sign of Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa that Swami Vivekananda has to leave, be the charm of Parliament of Religions. It was Guru Ramakrishna's initiation in his heart that he went abroad. He has to spend 2 nights in a cardboard box in one, without any good jacket on his skin, in that cold nights. Why are they doing? Why are they still doing actions? These initiations of new currents of activity are prescribed. And when they realize that nothing that they initiate actions are initiated by the divine, they become the child. Hence, when Krishna says one who does not engage in new actions, new undertakings, and one who initiates new currents in his activity, both meaning the same. Both meaning the same. And sometimes people mock that saints have to be in ashramas, saints have to be in Himalayan caves. Why are they building hospitals? Why are they holding the names of the hospitals? They don't own the names of the hospital. It's because of them the hospital is run. But the devotees, the followers, try to take their name. It was back then in Ramayana, in Valmiki Ramayana, there was this Maharishi called Rishyashringa, through whom Dasharatha made the yajna of Putrakameshti and Ashwamedha, through which Rama was born. Okay, this Rishyashringa. His story itself is very unique, very exclusive. He was, I think I will finish with the story. And I will close the session. If you have any questions, post the recording, we will have the discussion. So this Rishishringa was a young chap. His father, Vibhandaka Maharishi, was a Maharishi, is a seer, okay? And for somehow, Rishi Vibhandaka thought that this guy should not be in the presence of women at all. Okay, if he comes to the presence of women, perhaps mother, sister, or friends, then he might be swerved away from the path. So what he made, it was a huge step. Uh, it was an erratic step, but yes, he made this young chap. I do not know about the mother. Perhaps the mother died or something. But the young chap lived in a dark forest with his father, with just having fruits and vegetables and roots and leaves for about 12, 13 years. Okay. Now there was this Angadesha, a kingdom, a province where there was no rain. And some astrologers said there is this Maharishi called young Maharishi, Rishishringa. When his feet touches our land, then only will be raining. So this Angadesha king, what's his name? Don't remember his name. Okay. So this king wanted to lure the chap. So he sent, say, very clever. But this king is also doing social service. Yeah. The people in Angadesha were dying, literally dying. And he really wanted a solution. So he sent some women to the forest. And these women gave kodukattai. What do you say? Kodukattai in English. Okay, this is this cooked sweet. Okay, it's made up of coconut and jaggery and very, very yum. Okay, the first time this chap is having an item which is cooked food. He had never in his life had a cooked food, cooked meal. So when he ate it, and that too very sweet, a delicacy it was. So this guy asked, Rishishringa asked, on which tree does this fruit bear? Where is this fruit born? By which tree, he asks. So the people say, oh, here it is, here only, in this tree only there. It's in our kingdom, you have to come, then you will get more of such things. He's a young chap. He went with these women, and some are singing, some are making him relaxed. He is so happy. But this guy, he's a Grishi. He's not lured by those women and their beauty, but he simply follows because they said that the fruit was available there. Okay. And when he steps the kingdom, immense rainfall. And the king is happy. The whole people is happy. These astrologers were immensely happy. And they cautioned, oh, Rishishringa have to be here. If he is not here, if he goes back to the kingdom, then again there would be no rainfall. So the king said, okay, I'll make my daughter marry him. So that's how he took him as his son-in-law. And Rishishringa, without any troubles in his sadhana, without any, discontinuance in his sadhana, he remained Rishi. Rishis are married also. He married the girl. Okay. Now the next story comes in Mahabharata, because there the story ends in Valmiki Ramayana. What happened to Vibhandaka, the father of Rishishringa? How did he know that his son, he should have gone in search of his son? So the story comes in Mahabharata. Vibhandaka, when came back, not knowing there were women in the ashrama, was searching. We were searching Rishishringa everywhere. And he was so perturbed. And then slowly, after many months, through some people, he comes to know that there is a Rishashinga hospital here. There's a Rishashinga road here. No? Rishashinga, this might be someone else, perhaps. Okay, let me ask. And then he says, is this Rishashinga who is 5 feet 8 inches tall? Huh? Is he dark skinned? No, something like that. He is asking about his Rupa Lakshana. Hmm? And the people says, yes, you do not know about him. He's a great Maharishi. Without him, we would have died. My grandfathers have died because of his karuna, his kripa, his mercy that this kingdom is living. And he is now in the king's palace. So, which means a saint. When by his presence good actions, good outcomes happen, it will happen. And the names will also be published. Rishashinga Hospital, Rishashinga School, Rishashinga Talakas. Though the names are also there, they're not doing for the names. The service is happening, the service is happening. Okay, coming back. That's why I remembered Rishashinga's story. So Vibhandaka goes to Angadesha's king's palace. Anga king was very, very terribly scared because he has done something really wrong. He has lured the boy without his father's permission. So he he makes a strategic move. He asks both the couple, the Rishashinga and his daughter and his wife, Rishashinga's and his wife, the daughter of Angadesha, to come and bow down to Vibhandaka when he comes inside. He does not meet first because he knows and he might be angry also. And the second step, why he didn't come to Vibhandaka when somebody is visiting his kingdom. Otherwise, what happens when the king is visited by any Maharishi, any saint? The king doesn't stay in the same place. He comes down, visits the Rishi, welcomes the Rishi, and then gives a shelter in his kingdom. But here, Vibhandaka is coming to the palace without any welcome, without any such thing. Why? Because Anga king wanted Vibhandaka to understand how valuable his son was. He has to see all the nice things that Rishashinga had done in his own eyes. And that was another strategic move done by Anga king. And then Vibhandaka was very happy. He says, please do not succumb to such lurement, such enjoyment, such luxuries in the kingdom. Be in the kingdom, be as the king's son-in-law, but you do your anushtana, your sadhana. And then the kid was already like that. The Rishi was already like that. So Rishashinga also accepted the proposal and stayed with the king. And that's how Dasharatha could propose Rishashinga that please come and do Ashwamedha Yajna. And that's how we know Rama was born. Because of Rishashinga's efforts and his Paurohitya. So here I end. If you have any questions, please let me know.